More than 170 non-governmental organizations operating in Gaza have called for the immediate end of the U.S. and Israeli-backed aid distribution scheme. In their joint statement, the organizations say that in less than 4 weeks, more than 500 Palestinians have been killed and nearly 4,000 injured while trying to access or distribute food. It comes after the UN agency supporting Palestinian refugees called the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation a, quote, death trap. We have reached out to the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation for new comment, but in a statement provided to CBS News last week, it said in part, quote, it is unfortunate that both organizations, especially the UN, continue to push false information regarding our operations. We understand the UN is also trying to deliver aid into Gaza, but are not releasing the percentage of their deliveries that are being looted versus making their final destination. Joining me now is Juliette Touma, the Director of Communications for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees. Juliette, thank you for joining us. I want to start off with finding out what is your team's assessment of how the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is operating on the ground.
Thanks for having me, and good to see you. Look, our teams, since day one, they've been telling us that it's not humanitarian at all, that it is the Gaza Hunger Foundation, it is the Gaza Humiliation Foundation. And what they mean by that is that it's extremely degrading how this scheme of aid distribution has been operating, the many, many miles that people have to go, starving people, men and women, only to get very, very little food. And on top of that, they get shot at.
Juliette, there used to be 400 sites run by independent aid groups across Gaza. Now, with the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation taking the lead, it's down to just 4. How big of an impact has that had?
On a good day, it's 4. And you're absolutely right. We used to run in coordination with other United Nations agencies and humanitarian organizations, around 400 points of distribution spread across the Gaza Strip from north to south. And the whole point about this is that we wanted to be close to the people that we're serving, so that older people, the wounded, people with disabilities, women, children, don't have to walk for miles on end. And that's the whole point, is that we're close to the communities that we're serving.
Juliette, you're well aware your organization has faced criticism from Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump, who have alleged UNRWA staff were linked to Hamas and its October 7th attack, accusations your organization has denied. Now, the U.S. was once the biggest donor to UNRWA, but the Trump administration has announced widespread cuts to foreign aid. What has that done, and how is it affecting your operation?
A huge impact. The United States government and the American people have been the largest donor to our organization to UNRWA for decades on end, for more than 70 years, right? So the loss of the funding coming from the American people and the American government left us really bare, if you wish. We're struggling to make ends meet. We go hand to mouth. We can barely make do with what we have. It's an extremely difficult situation. And with the American funding that we used to get, we used to send lots and lots of assistance to Gaza, but also to other parts where we work, including Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and the occupied West Bank. The U.S. funding amounted to nearly $400 million. That was almost half of our operational budget, and we lost that very precious funding at the beginning of 2024 based on allegations that were never proven.
We don't have a lot of time left, but Juliette, I just want to get your take on, the toll that it has taken on your staff. You've lost at least 300 of your staff since the start of the war. How do you continue forward?
Over 320. to be precise. And these are doctors, nurses, emergency workers, drivers, the backbone of the humanitarian operation in Gaza. It's a huge loss. It's the largest human toll since the United Nations started working at the end of the Second World War.
Juliette Touma, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.